Vapov was a standout third-year student at Texas Tech School of Medicine, raised in a caring, values-oriented family. He enjoyed a happy, well-balanced childhood and shared a strong, loving bond with his girlfriend. He graduated from Texas A&M, class of 2022, and graduated with a GPA of 4.0 and got summa cum laude. He had a very promising future ahead of him as a physician. Tragically, on July 29, 2025, he lost his life to suicide. While suicide is typically defined as the act of ending one's own life voluntarily or intentionally, the circumstances in his case suggest a different reality. His death was influenced by forces beyond his control, pushing him toward it rather than it being entirely voluntary. Vapov was declared guilty under the false, ambiguous, and inflammatory charge of an egregious breach of professionalism for conduct in a setting that he had no control of without due process, evidence, or a fair investigation. The institution abandoned its ethical obligations, choosing self-protection over truth and acting with clear bias against a male student based solely on an unverified allegation with no regard to its impact on the young man that was relying on them to train him to be a caring physician. This was totally preventable.
I received a phone call from El Paso number, and I said, well, who's calling me? Then I pick up the phone and he said, well, hey, we are from Texas Tech Police. We're looking for your son. I said, hang on, what do you mean you're looking for my son? My son should be over there in El Paso. He said, well, no, he didn't show up for his clinics today. So I immediately called his roommate. Someone else picked up the phone and he told me, sir, this is what has happened. And then I said, well, you are not pranking me, right? Is this true? He said, I wish, but yes, this is what happened.
"5 days prior, Texas Tech University received a grievance from a female patient in the OB/GYN clinic. The patient alleged that his interaction made her feel uncomfortable during the intake process. There are other important factors to consider and several red flags which were ignored by all the school officials involved. She was at the OB/GYN for an STD test. The patient is a nurse, which raises questions about why the alleged behavior was not reported immediately and why he was allowed to remain during the exam if she felt uncomfortable. And why would she give him her Instagram handle after her appointment was over? Additionally, she states that she took a screenshot of his follow request but claims she was unable to screenshot the alleged inappropriate messages because he blocked her beforehand. This assertion is inaccurate. Instagram messages remain visible even if a user unfollows or blocks the other party.
My thing is, if you are annoying with the messages made you uncomfortable. You are that smart, you are taking screenshot of the request, but you are not taking screenshot of the messages which are making you uncomfortable.
Now here is the most agonizing and disturbing part. Dean is saying that my son did the exam, but nowhere in the complaint it's written that my son did the exam or even touched her.
After his school received a complaint, what followed was a state of panic by staff and officials of the school as they did not know how to handle the complaint. In one of the email exchanges, the clinic director states, "I did not get time to talk to the student, but feels like he should be removed." Really? The grievance response was due on the 30th, but still, no one felt the need to talk to Vapov. So it was just easy and convenient to start with removing him first and then figure out where the clinic's processes broke down later. Remember, Vapov was just a student doing what he was being told to. The dean summoned Vapov into her office on July 28th, 5 days after the complaint and gives her verdict to him, which she had actually decided on Friday prior. She instructs Vapov he is removed from seeing any patients in the hospitals or clinics, prohibited him from attending school-sponsored events, and barred him from volunteering until August 15th for 18 days. He was also instructed not to contact GPC members. Vapov questioned her, explained he did not do anything inappropriate, and why 18 days. This would really impact his studies. She further stresses that this could lead into his dismissal and go even on his letter of recommendations next year when he applies for his residencies. Vapov pleads 8 times and explains his side, but since she had already made up her mind, she refused to acknowledge any of his pleas. She offers to shake hands with Vapov, which he refuses and says his hands are sweaty. Clear indication her words devastated him and caused undue stress. This was not merely the loss of 18 days. Given Vapov's history of perfect attendance and academic excellence, the institution's actions foreseeably caused profound reputational harm and psychological distress. By portraying his conduct as an egregious professional violation and presenting dismissal as a real outcome, the school placed him in a position of extreme and predictable vulnerability and crushed his childhood dream. Instead of de-escalating his evident distress, she provided a crisis hotline number and later reinforced her authority by sending a late-night email at 11:36 p.m. instructing him to prepare for a remedial plan and to plead before the GPC committee that such conduct would never happen again, effectively declaring him guilty of misconduct that had never been investigated or proven.
In one of the emails which they have sent, it was said, can you please make sure whether the student was even there or not in the examination?
They didn't see any importance, any duty to dig into it, to go through the complaint and see what are the facts. Because of this email, because
Vapov was removed from his clinics for an egregious breach of professionalism, but it looks like more of a professional breach by the school authorities and administrators. Why was he allowed to interact with a female patient alone in the OBGYN? Why did no one feel the need to validate and verify the girl's allegations? One director is saying serious allegations, the other saying she did not get time. No one felt the need to talk to Vapov because he was a male accused by a female. Vapov telling Dean his hands were sweaty and she lets him go by handing over 9:15 talk. The dean sending the email at 11:36 p.m. highlighting the worst possible outcomes and asking him to come in front of the GPC for a remedial plan for a crime he never committed. Taken together, these actions reflect a profound breakdown of due process, duty of care, and professional judgment by the institution. Failures in gender-based discrimination that had devastating consequences for Vapov. An inconsistency that should have prompted further scrutiny of her accusations.
there are a lot of people in that email thread. Even one person, a single person, have stepped up or intervened
or could have done their job.
Could have done their job. My son would be alive. They didn't do their job. Not even a single person. If you go through that email thread, they are all professionals, and they didn't even go through the complaint itself. It's so heartbreaking. If this thing happened to my son, this thing could happen to anyone. And by speaking the truth, by bringing this thing in attention of everyone, if we could save anyone's life, we could spread his shine, and we could save someone from this pain.
It's unbearable.
We are going through this
It's
pain.
unbearable.
It's not right.
It's not right. As I said,
It's not
this
right.
needs to be stopped. If we do not wake up or if we do not act now, I'm sorry, it's gonna happen again to someone.